Hi guys, welcome back to the Hugh Jeffreys video, and in this video I'm going to be creating a transparent and purple Sony PlayStation 2. I just got a hold of one of these PlayStation Slim consoles to play some old games that I used to play when I was younger. The PlayStation 2 was initially released in the year 2000, but the Slim edition, which I have here, was released in 2004. In fact, the PlayStation 2 wasn't discontinued until 2013 and has over 3,400 games available for it. I got the idea to mod this PlayStation after I saw some pictures of a transparent PlayStation 2 online and wanted to have the same look with my PS2. Unfortunately, given the age of this console, the case was actually rather hard to find. It's made by a company called Ghost Case, and I actually found one of these from the US on Amazon. When purchasing my case, there was only purple, orange, or red left in stock. All the remaining colors, such as transparent and blue, had previously sold out in the past. As of making this video, the remainder of stock that was available has now sold out. Upon taking mine out, you can see the purple and transparent case. Now actually one of my memory card doors fell off, and in the end I actually just removed these because they were prone to falling out. Now it's actually time to disassemble my PlayStation 2 Slim console and install it into the new casing. On their website and the Amazon listing I purchased this from, it said there was a 7-screw easy installation. Well, we're gonna see about that. There's only 6 screws that hold in the bottom of the PlayStation 2. Now, when purchasing the case, it didn't actually say what model of PlayStation Slim this was for, because there's many variable models of the PlayStation 2 Slim console. The model I have here is a 79002 series, which I believe is a later model PlayStation 2 Slim console. It's not one of the early Slim models. After removing the 6 screws on the bottom of the console, there's a few plastic clips in place around the frame, which you'll need to unclip before the top will actually come off. One of those is on the right side, sort of in that groove, so you'll need to stick a spudger or something in there to get that off. Taking the top cover off, we can see the insides of the PlayStation 2 Slim console. Starting things off, I'll need to disconnect the DVD drive from the motherboard of the PlayStation 2. It's not held in by any screws, so removing the connectors will actually loosen up the module itself. I'll need to deroute the cables, and then basically it'll fall right out. It's important not to damage any of these cables, otherwise you're going to have to try and find a replacement DVD drive if you break yours. After that, it was time to take out the motherboard. Now, at first, it said that there would be a screw at the front of the PlayStation 2, right between the memory cards and the controller ports. Mine didn't have that, it had a screw underneath the fan assembly. And the problem with that is when it's time to reassemble it into the custom purple housing, there's nowhere to screw in the motherboard. Now, there is actually still a gap and hole for the screw at the front near the memory bay, so I would have to find a screw for that. I cleaned out the fan while I was at it and screwed it back down. After finding a screw to go in the memory bay screw hole, it was time to install the DVD module. The problem is, there's nowhere to put it. It just doesn't have the correct standoff, so it sits too low and will wobble around, and there's just no way that this could work. So I actually had to swap my PlayStation 2 Slim with my friend's PlayStation 2 Slim because it has some subtle differences. On the back you'll notice an extra vent as well as 2 extra holes, which I believe are for an add-on display. On the front it's pretty much the same, although the little IR sensor does look a little bit different on the front. This model is a 75002 series, so it's a little bit older than the console I had. So I'll be trading him my console for this console right here. They're basically the same from what I can tell, but internally these look different. In fact, the DVD module is part of the motherboard, which is what I need for this project. Pulling it apart, you can see the difference there in the look of this console compared to the other Slimline console. And there's actually a screw at the memory bay compartment. So I ran ahead and removed that, but the board still wouldn't come out. I did remove the fan to check for any remaining screws, but there was none under there like my other console. So I just gave the fan a bit of a clean. It was extremely dusty, and cleaning it out will give the PlayStation better airflow, so it should keep it at a cooler temperature. Screwing it back down, it's time to figure out how to remove the board from the case. Now, at first, it seemed like there was another screw or something that I'd missed, but actually, it was just a little clip at the back, and basically I pried it up near the connectors and it came right out. Now, there's a little standoff which is sort of acts as a clip which holds down the motherboard, and you need to loosen that up and to actually remove the board from the housing. With that now done, I can install it in the purple housing, reinstall the one screw holding the board in, and install the top case. And it's now starting to take shape. You will notice that there is a missing modem connector, and that's because this PlayStation Slim model doesn't feature one. Only the very early versions of the PlayStation Slim have a modem port, so unfortunately there will be a gap in the back. Now to install the screws, I am slowly tightening them and then loosening them off again until eventually they screw right in. I'm doing this to ensure that I don't snap off any of the standoffs in the case itself. There's many reviews on Amazon of this case where people have had issues with the standoffs snapping off. With the screws secured in place, I could reinstall the pads on the bottom and I could test out a game. Unfortunately, the disc wasn't spinning, so I actually looked into it and it turns out that one of the sensors isn't being pressed when the PlayStation is turned on. Holding that button in, the disc now spins, but there's another problem. As you could hear there's a massive scraping sound. Now luckily that is just this little plastic piece right here, spinning the disc. It only scrapes when it's touching the disc. Now that's a relatively easy fix. All I had to do was disassemble the top case and remove the clip and its retaining screw and spring to fix the issue. And to fix the issue with the disc not spinning, I have to put some tape over this little switch, which basically just detects when the lid's closed. And because it's not coming in contact with anything, the disc won't spin. So I applied plenty of layers of tape so it never comes undone. With that now taped up, I can reinstall it back in and put the top case on and reinstall the 6 screws on the bottom just like I did before. If you're doing this, I recommend using a cloth or something to sit the case on, as it's very prone to scratches as well as fingerprints. I can reinstall the feet on the bottom, putting a random test disc into the PlayStation. I can close the lid and press the power button. Waiting a few seconds, the disc now spins and it doesn't scrape, so we should be good to go. Connecting up the PlayStation to my TV, putting in some memory cards and chucking on a controller. I can put a disc in, this is GTA Vice City. Turning the PlayStation on, the disc spins and successfully loads up into the PlayStation. Due to copyright reasons I can't show you this, but the PlayStation is fully functional just like any other PlayStation 2. And this is the end result, a custom transparent purple PlayStation 2. I love transparent tech and the color purple, so I couldn't really go wrong with this mod. Sony actually made a transparent and purple controller, which I'll have to buy along with matching purple memory cards to complete this setup. The case itself isn't of the highest quality, but does look amazing in my opinion. I did leave out the memory card flaps as mentioned earlier, as they did keep falling out. It was a bit disappointing that the listing didn't state which PlayStation 2 Slim models it actually fits. Fortunately, my friend had brought a PlayStation 2 a few days prior and was willing to swap it with mine if it would fit into the custom case. It is a bit strange that this does include a modem port, but I assume that it's for the very early PlayStation Slim models, and it doesn't seem to be an edition of this case without that port, so it is a bit annoying because most of the Slim models don't have a modem port, so you're just left with this blank hole in the back. I guess you could cover it up with something, but for the meantime it's going to be just fine as is. I think it looks really cool that it's so transparent that you can easily see the internals, but from an angle you can definitely see the purple color. These cases were available in different colors like green, blue, red, orange, just to name a few, and of course a fully transparent one. I'm guessing these sold out many years ago, but there was still a few left in stock. I'm not sure whether they still manufacture these, but I will drop a link down below to the company that does actually make these. Although I love the custom PlayStation 2, I still think that the Slim model as a stock unit still looks very nice. Now I don't have a massive game library for the PlayStation 2 just yet because this is actually my first ever console. Although I did play a PlayStation 2 when I was younger, it was never actually mine to own, so now I finally own my own console. And yes, it's the PlayStation 2, I also got some PlayStation 1s along with it, so that's really awesome, so shout out to my brother for that. Leave a comment down below on what your favourite PlayStation 2 game is. I need to expand on my game library, so let me know what you think I should be buying for the PlayStation 2. I also have a fully transparent Xbox 360 case, which I'll be making a video on in the very near future, so make sure to stick around for that. And on that note, this has been a Hugh Jeffreys video. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button and consider checking out the modded and custom tech playlist for more videos just like this one. Also, make sure to follow me on my social media, link for that will be down in the description. That's all for this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.